Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're gonna do a little sushi haul and explain the pros and cons of living in LA. We've been here for almost a month now, so we have a better insight of what we like, what we don't like. We're gonna get into all the things, but what better way to do that than with a sushi haul? I'm starving. The one disadvantage of being so far west, we're living in Venice Beach, is that it takes so long for all the good sushi places to get delivered, and we Uber Eats it, so it took over an hour, but that's completely fine because this is so worth it. We went to Sushi Tomoki, and I think it's in West Hollywood or Beverly Hills. I don't really remember, but I'll put it on the screen so you guys can look it up. Let's dive in. So the first one is a dragon roll, which is tuna on top filled with spicy tuna. This is delicious. Another thing that I love that they do is that they give you like individual sauces to dip in. You can obviously use soy sauce as well. Spicy tuna crispy rice, kind of butthurt that they only give you two, but it's really good, so it's worth it. Next up is albacore. I've never really had a roll like this. Murphy's so excited. I've never really had a roll like this, but they're so good. The quality of the fish here is fantastic. Next bag. Ooh, these are the hand crab rolls. These are so delicious, filled with real crab inside, and again, the quality is just all there. And then I kind of went all out, I guess. Wait, what? I got the white albacore roll. These are insane. So it's white albacore on top, and then inside is spicy albacore, and then they give you some sauces on the side. It's also topped with fried onion. I'm gonna have Luke come in and do some pros and cons. I think it's interesting from his perspective as well, and we've both been living together here. So for a month, and we've been loving it. Let's get into it. I have Luke here with me. If you guys don't know, he's my boyfriend. He's been on a lot of the vlogs that I've been posting recently. We love sushi. That's like our love language, I feel like, is ordering sushi. Way too overpriced sushi too at that. I honestly have to dig in real quick because I'm freaking hungry. These sauces, so good.
They give like a miso sauce with all the sushi. They don't even give soy sauce.
But I love it.
I know, it's good.
A little bit of backstory. We moved to LA a month ago for work first, and then it kind of was like a lifestyle choice. I've always wanted to live in LA. Or not even LA, I guess just like California in general. His work kind of paid for it, so that's what made us actually come out here. We want to share the pros and cons. Also, we moved from Atlanta, Georgia, lived there for a year and a half, loved it. Now we're in LA. You guys, this is insane. Like this sauce, I could drink it. Okay, we had to adjust the camera a little bit because Luke was getting cut off. Also, do you want to try some of the spicy tuna crispy rice? I wonder if we should start with pros or cons, or like how we should talk about our experience here in LA.
Oh, no. Fuck, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
I honestly like this sauce better. Not the clear. I'm confused what the clear sauce even is for. Like, it's just like a chili oil.
I like a sesame oil.
I don't love that.
Let's go back and forth.
Yeah.
We haven't planned this either, so I have no idea what you're saying. And vice versa.
First and foremost, I think the pro for me is that, well, I guess it's like both of us. We're really close to the ocean and like bodies of water. So there's different beaches along LA. You have Malibu, Venice Beach, Santa Monica, El Porto, these like random surf towns that are super, super cute. You can drive along the PCH basically and get there, and that's like a huge plus for me. I
think one of the other pros just generally is like the weather. Like it's been sunny, I mean 90% of the time that we've been here, probably more, probably 95%. I think it's rained once, which was crazy. It never happens.
Yeah.
And it's cloudy out sometimes in the morning, but
it's huge,
it
weather
burns off throughout the day.
Next for me would be the proximity. I guess this is kind of going back to the beach towns, but the proximity to national parks. California itself is so vast that you could literally surf the morning and then ski at night. You have so many different mountains, but then also beaches. So I love the diversity that it has to offer, which I've never experienced in any other state. Kind of
piggybacking on the travel, like a lot of this is travel oriented.
Yeah.
If you're here, especially moving from the East Coast, you can take advantage of going to Hawaii or Australia or Japan, Fiji, or like any of the, I guess, regions like off the West Coast, because generally from the East Coast, you have to fly 5-6 hours just to get to California and then go do that second leg, whereas now it's so much shorter and cheaper. Like we were looking at flights to Hawaii, it was like $250, but we were looking from the East Coast, it was like $850. That's kind of cool to take advantage of those while you're here. The travel aspect as a total here is a lot better. On the East Coast, there's a lot more to see out here.
Another pro for me would maybe just be like the shopping in a way. Like there's so many different little towns. They're just a lot bigger You could spend a full day itinerary in West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Venice, Santa Monica, Malibu. It's its own little world in a way. It's so different, which I really love, like the different personalities. You truly could spend over a year exploring the different neighborhoods, and that's a big part of our like love for where we live, is that we like to explore.
So a pro for me too is like surfing. Like I feel like in Atlanta, obviously landlocked, couldn't do that. You know, grew up kind of surfing and surfed at college and stuff.
Even I love watching you surf though.
Yeah.
So fun for me.
It's like therapeutic. I feel like there wasn't something like that. I didn't have something like that in Atlanta. Like I'd go golf and stuff, but
that's another pro for me too, is like the accessibility of like the outdoor sports. There's so many things like beach volleyball, not that we've really taken an advantage of it yet, but beach volleyball, surfing, biking, walking, like even just like walking on the boardwalk, it's so fun.
Very active out on the boardwalk. Everyone's out there. Everybody in California that we've met is like self-made.
That's what I was gonna say.
They all have like their own passion projects that they're working on. They're super successful.
So motivated.
And it could be any like different business. Like we met people who have an auto body shop, but like, you know, grind and have, you know, a really great business there. We have people who are in real estate. We have people who are
influencing is really popular
influencers.
too. And you don't feel as uncomfortable like doing it here. It's like the normal.
Yeah, that motivates Kim and I to like do more and feel like we're not doing enough.
Yeah. You also reminded me of another pro, like just walking around, the fashion. I love everyone's different streetwear. So it's like different if you go to West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, like the fashion is super different. But if you go on the west side, closer to the water, it's more beachy and our speed. And I feel like everyone looks so elevated and nice, and you get so much inspo of what you would want to wear. And again, like the shops over here, they're the same shops in Atlanta, but I think because it's trying to match like the style and aesthetic of people living here, it's like more of like what we would like to wear. Apologies for the change of camera. My camera just died, of course, as I was filming this. So we're gonna get into the cons of us living here. You always hear that California is expensive, but I don't think I wanted to believe how expensive it truly was. It's pretty crazy. Like the rent, first of all, is astronomical. You can't find anywhere that's a really nice space for less than a few $1,000s, which is pretty crazy. So you have to be making a good amount of money to be living out here. And on top of that, gas is also super expensive. So it's like everything.
I mean, just to like put the gas in perspective too, it's almost like $5 a gallon, which is lower than it was last year when it came out. It was almost $7 a gallon last year.
Thank God.
But it'll cost like $100 to fill up the truck every time we do, a few times a month.
Yeah.
So like that's expensive.
Everyone's using a Tesla.
Food is more expensive here when you go out to eat.
The cost of living, just in general.
Cost of living is just crazy. And of course, like we're living in like a nice area that you know, we're doing it. Like we could probably go find something cheaper. Kind of want to be in like a nicer area. And then a con, I think, just for us that we didn't think it was going to be as bad, or at least I didn't, was just being like how far you guys are or how far we are from the East Coast. We're like, oh, it's not that bad. It's just like a flight away. But when you actually are here, it's like just a hassle to get back to the East Coast. We're going back for Thanksgiving. We're going back for Christmas.
And that's expensive to buy flights for the holidays.
For the holidays is crazy. And then you have to get someone to watch Murphy, which is not cheap. Park your car at the airport, all that stuff. So it adds up, and it's a day just to travel. I
will say, like, the first week that we moved here, I woke up and I was like, oh, we truly are on the other side of the country. Like, it really hit me in a way that I didn't think it would. Next con, I think this kind of correlates with the being far away from the family and East Coast, is that it's hard to make friends. It's hard to make friends regardless, like in your early to late 20s, especially when you don't really know anyone out here, and we both work from home. So it's kind of hard to make friendships in that way. And I don't know, I think maybe just because we grew up on the East Coast, it felt more approachable to meet friends, and Atlanta seems like such a smaller city than this, where it's kind of more attainable. Whereas like here, I'm like, there's so many people. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of friends that like you could potentially make.
And we were living in the Southeast. We went to school in the Southeast. You at least knew somebody who was in that city, or like a friend of a friend that you could at least like get a drink with, or like go hang out with, or like have a warm connection to. Being out here, you basically know nobody. Luckily, we have
a few friends here.
Two or three friends that we had known from the East Coast. That's definitely helped a lot. But like as far as like meeting new friends or branching out, I think it's.
And that's also on us. Like we need to.
It is a lot on us too. We need to put ourselves out there. It's kind of funny because it's a good thing, but also like a bad thing. Maybe not a bad thing, but like a con for me at least is like LA is so big. There's so many places to go see and like go explore. It's so overwhelming. It's like give me less options. Like I don't want like a million things. Like give me like 10 things. And Oh, shit.
I actually agree with you because in Atlanta, we knew our 5 neighborhoods. You could bike to all the 5 neighborhoods in Atlanta that were popular. It had a lot of bars and restaurants. I do agree with you. It also, that was going to tie into like my next con is I think that makes a place feel homier. Is like, it doesn't feel as homey here because 1, we're also from the East Coast. Like the landscape doesn't look familiar to us. And then 2, any place that we've kind of ever lived was smaller. Even I grew up in a really small town. You grew up in a small town. Yeah, I would have to drive, but there weren't like a lot of like neighboring towns near me. And Wilmington is where we both went to school. Very small town. Moved to Raleigh, very small as well. Atlanta, definitely a bigger city, but in a way that is so small.
It felt small, which brings the next point up is the traffic, which I think we mentioned earlier, but
it hasn't really affected us much.
Yeah, it hasn't. I mean, because we haven't gone. I think it's affected us. That limited how much we've explored, because
I agree.
Every time we bring it up to somebody, like, oh, we should go do this or that in West Hollywood, it's like, oh no, like we're not. You need a full day to do that. It's not just like a quick and easy go explore an area. It's like always at least a 2-hour round trip.
I think that pretty much sums up all of our cons. We hit on a bunch that we like have raised together.
But a pro that I didn't mention is our place here.
Oh my god.
Our house is pretty sick. It's small, but it's like everything you need. And we got so lucky being in Venice. It's so hard to get a driveway that's gated, as well as a yard that's fully fenced in and super private.
We're also a 10-minute walk, not even, to Abbot Kinney, which is the popular street with bars, restaurants, retail shops, and then also like a 10-minute walk to Venice Beach. I feel like after the pros and cons, they kind of like weigh each other out. It's almost like even, which is crazy to say it out loud because we always talk about pros and cons, but not in this way. And it really is like balance. At the end of the day, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. We're so young. We could make the move out here and it's fun now that we got to experience it. Not sure what the next few months will look like. I'm fully remote. I work a sales job that allows me to be fully remote, which is amazing. And his next role will be territory based. We're open to the idea of moving somewhere, whether that be East Coast, still on the West Coast, but like northern West Coast.
Or staying here.
Or staying here. So we'll see. We've always talked about this. It's not a long-term thing. We're gonna go back to the East Coast. All of our family and friends are there. So that just makes sense. And we love the East Coast. I think after being here, it's made us realize more how much we love being home, but this is a really fun experience that not everyone gets to do. We're loving it.
And now we have to take advantage of it. So now we're gonna go to parks and go ski and do all the stuff that we came out here to do.
So let us know if you guys have any recommendations of national parks, even just like areas in LA or California in general that you love going to, because we want to make sure we hit everything on the list.
Give us the hidden gems.
Yeah, and it's also fun when people come and visit. We've already seen so many of our friends and family here that we normally like wouldn't have even seen. I feel like on the East Coast, everyone loves coming to California and visiting, so it's been fun to show people around. We have so many more visitors coming in the new year, so good stuff. You're looking at my pimple.
Me?
Yeah.
I just said, yeah.
All right, well, we devoured that sushi. I was so hungry. We're gonna end the vlog off, or no, it's not a vlog. We're gonna end the pro and con sushi haul here. Thanks for watching.
See you guys in the next one.
Love ya.